Hi, I'm Keith Banfield, and with me today I have Deborah Jackson, the author of Easy Marketing for Women. So welcome, Deborah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's an interesting title, your book, because I notice it's Easy Marketing for Women, not just Easy Marketing. Why did you go for just women?
I've been working in business for the last 5 years, and I found that I was attracting women to my business. And I was also looking that women were the ones that were starting their businesses more so than men.
Yeah.
And I also found that women were fantastic technicians about what they were all about, but it was trying to change their technician into a marketing mindset, and so that they were becoming from a marketing-led business instead of a technician business. The other thing is that women do a lot of work within the family business. So while the man's out maybe in the field working, the women's back in the office coordinating everything. And so I found that sometimes a man would come home and say, oh, look, while you're doing my bookwork and looking after my children, could you please get me more clients as well? And the other thing that research was telling me is that if women needed some more information, that they would actually be the ones that would go out and seek it.
Yes.
So with more women going into business, more women seeking information, and more women looking after family businesses, I just felt that to give them a common sense marketing approach, something where all the jargon was taken out of it and it really related to them and everyday living, I thought that would be a very helpful and useful tool.
And because you've niched it for women, of course, it's different from other books that are on the market. You've picked something that is a bit different. You talk about being a technician in the book, and the idea that there's a lot of people out there that are good at what they do, but aren't necessarily good at marketing. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, there is so many fantastic people out there, and I think the frustrating thing is that we're never taught how to promote ourselves, but from a compelling marketing message side. So I come across fantastic people, they know exactly what they're doing, but they just don't know how to tell people, and more importantly, how to attract their ideal clients to them.
Yeah.
It's like they think that they're good, and so everybody else should think that they're good as well.
And of course, even if you are good, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to sell a lot, because people need to know about you and why they should buy from you. Sorry.
What I was going to say is that what we forget as business owners is that everybody's busy.
Yes.
And everybody's busy being busy.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to actually attract people into your business because they're all busy. If you tell them once, they won't get it. You know, research tells us that we need to tell them 12 times before they actually get what is being delivered. And as a technician, we don't understand that. So we go, well, we're very good and here's all our credentials. So why don't you buy us? And it's because you haven't told me why I should buy you.
Exactly. And in your book, there's a section in here which I noticed you're talking about the different steps to building a marketing plan or a marketing system. Perhaps you could go through those with us. What would you say the key areas are if you're going to build a marketing system up?
I've actually related the marketing plan into 5 Ps.
Yeah.
And what I do now is I teach and help people or business owners actually understand these 5 Ps. And the first P is people.
Yes.
Because markets don't buy, people buy.
Yes.
Companies don't buy, it's people within those companies that buy. So by understanding people from an emotional point of view, because we're all emotional creatures.
Yes.
And we have to attract people through their emotions. And what's one of the strongest emotions out there? People's problems. We all live in problems.
Yes.
And, you know, I always say to people, if we don't attract people, you know, if people don't have problems, then we're not in business anymore, because people always have problems. So if we can attract them by highlighting their problems or highlighting a solution to their problems,
Yes.
then we're more likely to get their attention. And don't forget, people are busy, so we've got to grab their attention.
And I suppose that sometimes people have a problem, but they get so used to having that problem, they don't start to focus on it. And it's only when you highlight it for them, perhaps they say, actually, now I do realise I need to do something about it.
So I take people through the fact that people are emotions, and business owners need to tap into those emotions, but they need to tap it in by understanding who their target market is.
Yes.
And I find that when it comes to marketing, when people go into business, they go, right, I need clients. And so they go out and they start doing all the tactics first. And they forget the strategy point of view. And the strategy is actually understanding who their target market is, what problems that they have, what solutions that the business owner can solve, how to then communicate, so what is that competitive uniqueness, how to build in those benefits, and then of course how to do a risk reversal. So I find that if by separating and saying, right, with people, this, and you also in that people group need to know who your competitors are.
Yes.
Because it's pointless coming onto the market and offering something that somebody already is offering. You've got to find that little gap in the market so you know where your uniqueness lies, so you can promote that uniqueness.
Because I think a lot of people, and that's really interesting what you're saying, a lot of business owners create a business and they have exactly the same as their competitors, and then they're forced to sell on price.
Exactly.
There's no points of difference.
And price is the worst thing. You know, never go into business looking at what your competitor's doing. Never be a me too. Because with a me too, yes, the only thing you've got is price.
And there's this battle to just bring the prices down cheaper and cheaper until no one's making any profit.
That's right. So market research is really important. You know, the amount of people that I work with, and I go, all right, well, what does your competitors do? Or who are your competitors? And they have never even done any market research. And Keith, as you know, market research is the easiest thing to do today because we've got the thing called the internet.
Yes.
So basically you can find out everything that you want to know about competitors via your computer.
Yes.
So it sort of astounds me sometimes that people don't even know what their competitors are doing. So I always say, all right, work out what you want to do through your own beliefs and your own passions, because you need your passion to get you through the early stages of your business.
Yes.
Find out what your competitors are doing so you know not what to do, but you're finding a hole in the market that you can fulfill.
Yes.
And then understand what your target market really wants, because you want them to buy you.
Yes.
So you need to know what their problems are, and you need to then give them a benefit or a solution to that problem, and you need to do it in a way that makes you happy because they're going to buy you and your brand, your authenticity.
And when you think about it, it isn't difficult. It isn't difficult to understand the problem, put forward a solution they want, and be different from everyone else, and then tell everyone about it. And it was interesting, I was talking to someone on a workshop recently, and I was showing an advertisement from one of their competitors, and they said, we can do all of those things. And I said, the difference is your competitors tell people that they do it, and you don't. And so there's no point in having these points of difference if you're not actually communicating them back to...
And that's what a lot of the technicians get caught up with, is the fact that they get caught up with the fact that they can do it all, but they're not understanding exactly what their target market needs from them,
Yes.
and then fulfilling those needs. So I talk a lot, I spend a lot on that people. And then the second one is P for partner, partnerships in your business.
Yes.
That's marketing. You know, like I find that a lot of businesses think that marketing is all about putting an ad in the paper or building a website or having a pretty brochure.
Yes.
Actually, when it comes to those tactics, sometimes they're the last things that I tell them to do. But it's building relationships. You know, those relationships can be referrals, building alliances, joint ventures, because we're all in business.
Yes.
We have to build that business community because it's too hard not to
Yeah.
have, 1,000 other people out there recommending you. You know, they're your silent salespeople just as much as your website.
Yes, and I've heard people say you can't do it alone.
No.
You may work alone, you may have no other staff or employees with you, but you can't be alone because you need other people to have a successful business.
Indeed. And then, of course, we get into the persuasion, the promotion. So a lot of people come to me and they go, right, we need clients, so what should we do first? What tactics should we do? You know, should we do advertising? Should we do a website? Should we do online marketing? And they're always talking about the doing.
Yes.
And I say to them, well, who are you trying to contact? And where do they hang out? We want that low-hanging fruit. So if you're going to do something, is it going to reach your ideal target market? And I came across a client about 6 months ago, and they came to me and they said, look, this is the name of our company, and this is our website, and this is our brochure. And it was all very nice, but nothing told me exactly what made them unique and who their target market is.
Yes.
And once I took them through a strategy planning session, they actually said to me, oh, well, we really want to target the corporate sector, and we want to do this and we want to do that. And I'm going, well, this is what you want to do, but your marketing is completely different. But that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. We have so much information on the website about the doing of all these tactics, but it's very little about the actual positioning of your business.
So planning is critical, and positioning and thinking about who your customers are.
That's right.
So is that step 2?
Well, your people, as I said, your target market, who you are, what are you offering, the market research, then into the building the partners. So when you know if your target market is, say, women between 25 and 35 and they have a baby, well, then you start to think, well, where are they going to hang out with babies? Where else are they going to go with babies? Who else are they going to talk to with babies? And so you can build alliances with those people. Then you've got the persuasion, the promotion. Then once you know that, it's about getting into their mindset, your target market's mindset. Start thinking how they think. So then you can think, all right, well, if I had a baby, where would I go? And then you can start understanding and become more aware of your market.
Yes.
And then the 4th step is persuasion. It's persuasion. So it's actually, once you've attracted them in, how do you then get them to a sale?
Yes.
And then it's the soft closing techniques. It's building a product or a service or programs that they want to buy. Another thing I say to my clients is, people are like cows. And what do cows do? They follow other cows.
Yes.
And I think that's why we love to stand in line and we love to be told what to do. So I always say to people, build a service that you take people through a journey. So you're telling them what to do next. Because don't ever assume that they understand that. Allow them to highlight to them what they need to do next and take them through that sales funnel.
And you see that often, don't you? If you see ads and things, it will say, to get your free booklet, simply call this number or call today. And so it's giving people a call to action, making them know where they need to go next.
Always give them the next step. I'm coaching a lovely counsellor at the moment, and we all know that when it comes to the mind, we can't fix it in one half an hour session or an hour session. So I've been coaching her on, okay, well, people will come to you looking for help. So it's up to you to give them the guidance on what they need to do. So for her, it's the value add, it's building the program, and it's highlighting the reasons why people may not get fixed or fix that problem in one session, that they may need 3 sessions or they may need 6 sessions. But it's like everything. If we want to learn how to swim, we can't do it in one half an hour.
Yes. And so what's the last part of the...
Practice.
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 Actually taking the action.
Practice. Doing it. Because marketing's all about doing it.
Yes.
Doing it and doing it long enough. We live in such an instant society that we think that we're going to do something and the phone should ring off the hook or our website should be inundated. It doesn't work like that. We have to keep doing our marketing every day, every week, every month, so people start to get it. As I said before, we need to tell people 12 times before they just get it.
Yes.
So if you're going to advertise, don't do it once. It's a waste of money. At least do it 12 times. If you're going to send out an e-newsletter, don't do it once, do it 12 times. People need to hear you and see you. And I always say, take back to the 70s when there was, the television and commercials. How many times would we see the same commercial every week? And that's all about getting into the mindset, getting into here, what that product or service could be done. So as service professionals, we need to play the same game, But we can't go on television because we can't afford it. But we need to be in front of people all the time.
Yes.
So it's practicing, it's doing long enough to succeed. And if I always say to people, if you ever come across an successful person, they didn't become an overnight success.
It took time.
It took
time and practice and taking action.
And taking action. So you've got to do it, because a lot of these, say for example, all these lovely online marketers that are coming out and saying that we're earning millions, it took them 10 years to get there.
And build the list up and all of those things, yeah.
So if you're starting a business, don't expect to make money in the first 6 months. You know, it will take time to get going. And, you know, we've got all the research out there that it takes 5 years before you really start to get going in your business. And okay, depending on how much time and effort you put into it, it may take a little longer. But you're not going to make $1 million in the first year. And if you do, I want to know about it. But, you know, but it's practicing. It's doing something in your marketing every day, every week. It's practice, 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 and do.
Well, there's some great ideas there, and thank you very much for coming in and sharing those with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And,
thank you for having me.
I wish you every success with the sales of your book.
Thank you very much.